Can we train crocodilians to do tricks like a dog? In this episode, I'm joined by Chuckey of MadBio Reptiles, and we dive into the intelligence of crocodilians. We dive into training them, what's that like, what working with them is like, and then we touch a little bit on Chuckey's recent trip to Puerto Rico, where he went to film a documentary. This is a fascinating episode. You guys are definitely going to enjoy it. But before we get into it, allow me to thank Exoterra for sponsoring this podcast and making this episode possible. Exoterra makes quality products for our pet reptiles to make them feel at home. One more thing, before we get into the podcast, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, or any of the other streaming platforms, please give me a follow. We really appreciate it, and it helps the podcast out a lot. Okay, without further ado, let's find out how smart crocodilians really are. Everybody, please help me welcome Chuckey of MadBio Reptiles. Chuckey, welcome back.
How is it going? It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I think you were like episode 3 and we're at episode 100 and something now. So
oh my God. What was that? Like 3 years ago or something?
I think 4 almost. Yeah.
Holy
so very, very overdue, and I'm glad you're finally back.
Yes, sir.
You've been doing some crazy stuff over the last couple of years, which I'm sure we'll dive into. And you just came back from an awesome trip, which I'm sure we'll dive into as well. But before all of that, I think when we last talked, I can't remember if you were just getting into Wild Florida or if you were about to go there, but how has that been?
Oh, it's been amazing, bro. It was a new experience for me, and I feel like I've just recently mastered it enough to where like I feel finally like a professional. I feel like before I didn't feel like a professional, you know? Like I'll see somebody doing like working crocodiles or even venomous snakes, and I didn't feel like I was part of the atmosphere. But now I'm in a place where like, oh, I feel like I know my stuff, you know? So it's been great. I've learned a lot of techniques. I've learned a lot of forms of communication, how to speak to people. It's so much. That job has taught me so much, so many skills that I can use even outside of animals with people in the field. So very happy with it.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So you're learning how to deal with people just as much as you're learning how to deal with animals.
100%. Yeah. So I, of course, work with animals, but I perform educational shows as well. So I'm on a mic in front of 100 people sometimes, and I have to be able to control the crowd, tell jokes, be educational, like all of those things. And of course, outside of that, whenever I go somewhere, I can do the same thing. I can control a room if I need to. And this job did that for me. Absolutely. So animals one thing, but people as well, and taught me a lot.
That's awesome. So what you're saying is you're gonna start doing some stand-up comedy now?
Dude, I've thought about it.
Yeah, if you can control a room of 100 people and you're funny, why not?
To me, the only reason I haven't done it is because I'm scared of the vibe being different. It's a whole different vibe because at my job, nobody's expecting it. So right. I can get it. I know when to say things. I know when to pause. I know like how to keep the tone. I feel like if I'm in a room where the people are expected, I'll freak out because it's like, yo, flopping hurts.
Yeah. In front of 100 people too. Oh yeah.
Yeah. If flopping hurts. Yeah, flopping hurts, especially if like the people are not even expecting the joke. That hurts already. Imagine if they expect it and you flop. Oof.
Yeah.
Painful.
That's funny. I told Chuckey this a couple of weeks ago when we recorded, but I'll just quickly throw it in here again and let you know. You guys remind me of the reptile version of Flagrant.
Yeah.
When I listen to the podcast. Yeah.
That's the idea, bro. That literally was the idea. Because
Chuckey told me
about it. Yeah. When we were talking about it, we were like, yo, dude, like this has to be.
Or Yoshi, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, this has to be the vibe because like I was listening to Flagrant, he was listening to Flagrant. I'm like, that's the vibe I want. Like, I'm gonna be cussing, I'm gonna be yelling, I'm gonna be like exactly who we are. That's how we talk. Like, I don't like to sit here and act like somebody I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, if people don't like it, then people don't like me, and that's okay. But I love it. I love being me in front of a camera. I don't like the acting stuff. I like being real, and that's who I am, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still kind of gaining my bearings when it comes to being me on camera. Like I can do it in the podcast because I'm talking to somebody else. So it's like
Hmm.
conversation. I can do it when I'm recording a YouTube video and it's just me in a room alone with the camera. I'm still like stiffer than
Yep.
when I'm conversating with someone. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Hopefully.
I feel that as well. I have like what I call my show voice. It takes over for some of those videos, but sometimes it has to because I'm at work. Um,
Yeah.
but I do want to put my own spice into it, but my show voice takes over, and it's like I don't know. I don't know how to mix the two into a video. It's very different. Podcast,
Yeah.
like you said, you're talking. It's like being with your friends. A camera is like I don't know. Say, hey guys, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's that vibe.
What's
It's
up,
like
everybody? Welcome back to yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
copy paste, and I become that too. And it's like I don't know how to mix it. I really don't.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Actually, it's funny because the podcasts are conversational and then I record the intros afterwards.
Hmm.
And then so it's like stiff, like, what's up, guys? Welcome back for like the first like 30 seconds. And then it's like, okay, now he's normal again. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
You put on a mask, so
e-
multiple personalities.
exactly, exactly. But like you said, sometimes you have to, and sometimes it's the easier way to do it
Yeah.
to kind of get your point across. But so on the topic of the shows you're doing at your work, are you first of all are you just I feel like based on what I see online, you're mostly dealing with the crocodilians, but you just mentioned venomous snakes. Are you working with
Mhm.
them as well, like on a
Yeah.
frequent basis?
Yeah, every day. So every day I work with crocodilians, anything small, like spectacle came in, dwarf came in, as big as a Nile crocodile. And then venomous snakes. The only one I don't do right now is the king cobra, but I do snouted cobras, vipers of all sorts, like gaboons, rattlesnakes. What else is in there? Gila monsters, black mamba, and then of course black throat monitors, rhino iguanas, crocodile monitor,
Sick.
alligator snapping turtle, like anything that has to do with reptiles. It's just so much, so many reptiles. And then every now and then, eagle owl. Every now and
That's
then, I
sick.
jump in and I do some of the safari stuff, animal care stuff. So I love the lemurs, I love the monkeys, and the porcupines. So like I jump in everywhere. Like I do a little bit of everything with everything, but most of what I post happens to be the crocs. So a lot of people don't know that I own animals at home,
I was
and
gonna say,
that
yeah.
that I do a little bit of everything as well. Just because everybody just reacts to the crocs more. Like if I do something with a porcupine, nobody really pays attention because I've created my audience to be for the crocodiles. Like today, I posted a
Right.
tarantula. Nobody really cares because
Yeah.
I've made my audience know like I'm known for the crocodiles, and it's a
Right.
curse, but it's fine.
It's a double-edged sword. Is that why
Yeah.
you don't post many of the animals you have at home?
The reason I don't pose many of the animals I have at home is because I want to like top tier the enclosures is my
Okay.
main thing. So as if I don't feel like they're like 100% what I would recommend, then I don't want to post it. So I post some of the things. I post some of the tarantulas, some of the nidinals I've posted, day geckos. I used to. I haven't in a while. Um, but now I got what is it? Three rhino iguanas,
Sick.
three banana pectinatas. I have a crocodile monitor. I have a few things, and once those enclosures are fully done, and I mean like not even the size, I'm talking like plants and everything I want it exactly how I want it to look, then I'll do videos with them. But for now, I have enough at work.
Yeah, fair. And the croc monitor, for example, you keeping that indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Outdoors. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
because
the
something that big would
iguanas.
be hard to.
Yeah. Yeah, so all the big lizards are outside, all the rhinos are outside, even the baby pectinatas are outside. Only things inside are false water cobra, all the arachnids, rainbow boa,
Nice.
and some other boa species that I have as well.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah. See, I knew you kept animals at home. I had no
Hmm.
idea you had that many animals at home.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome. So
yeah.
you're still as much in the hobby as you are in the zoo world,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I just do it so much at work because I also work at Imperial Reptiles,
Yeah.
so a reptile shop. So I literally am around reptiles at work all day long. So when I go home, I don't even record anything. I just take care of stuff and call it a day. Like my job already has enough. Like, mm.
Do you find it almost like exhausting having to work with animals all day and then coming home and kind of redoing the same thing again?
No, feels natural, normal. I'm somebody that doesn't stop moving. So I always need something to look forward to and that
Right.
sometimes becomes it. And if it's not that, I become a little crazy. That's when I start planning like crazy trips and stuff. If you ever see me on a trip or driving somewhere crazy, I'm
I'm
losing
bored.
it. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. So I
Okay.
usually keep myself busy like until I fall asleep. Like from the moment I wake up till I fall asleep, I'm always doing something.
Cool. So when you went to Puerto Rico, was that because you were losing your mind, or was there a plan behind going to Puerto Rico?
I was losing my mind 100,000%. Dude, I put myself on the negative for it.
For it, yeah. Well, I heard, I heard it on
Yeah.
your. So, just for the people listening, you guys, the Reptiles with podcast, released an episode about your trip this morning, as of us recording this, and I heard
Hmm.
you talking about that there. So, if anyone hasn't given that a listen, it'll be in the show notes and description. Go check that out.
Hmm.
Hear about Chucky's trip, but we'll talk about it a little bit towards the end. But yeah,
Hmm.
crazy that you put yourself in the negative for that, man. Like worth it for
Yeah.
sure, but
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't really care. It's like money comes and goes. I'll figure it out. I it is what it is, and I just wanted that project. I needed. I just felt like I was in a place like I work at the zoo, and I work with so many animals like crocodiles, and I'm living the dream, right? Like in
absolutely.
somebody's eyes, that's the truth. In
Yeah.
my eyes, I've peaked. So in my eyes, it's
Like,
like I
what's
know
next?
this. Yeah, I know this. I know I can get in and work with any of these animals, but what's next? So I've always wanted to do YouTube and a documentary and all this. And before this job and like when I was at the other job, I did a little bit of modeling and photography. And then some of my friends from that group started doing wildlife, like photos and videos. And then we
Cool.
connected and then we were like, yo, let's do something stupid. And then we came up with it. Like we were just like, we need to do something different to feel alive, honestly. So I
Yeah.
felt like I was falling into this weird depression. And I was like, okay, like that's when I look for something stupid to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put all my money that doesn't exist into this project. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If I go broke, I'll figure it out. Money comes and goes. So that's how that came to be. So yeah,
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
crazy and I decided to do that.
That's awesome. And you were there for like quite a few days.
Yeah, I was there 5 days.
Well, okay, cool. Yeah. Cool. And so when is the documentary that you're filming expected to come out?
So I wanted it for December. I still do. I'm not completely sure. We just have to see how many more times I have to go. It depends on that, but I want it to be done by December
Cool. Yeah.
and start the year with it.
Yeah, it's crazy what people think, like, or how long something like this actually takes. You know,
Hmm.
everyone's like, you're just gonna go down, you're filming it, but it's different when you use the terminology documentary versus YouTube video. 'Cause you're like, it's just a YouTube
Hmm.
video. I can put it together in like a couple of weeks and throw it out. But
Hmm.
you're going like full production on it.
Yeah, yeah. So we're going. So the equipment we use is extremely expensive as it is. So that alone, the quality is higher than a regular YouTube video. So that's one of the reasons I'm making it a documentary. And then we recorded. That's another thing. We recorded randomly. Like there's no storyline to it yet.
Okay.
I just recorded the ending. I just said, let's go catch as many retakes as we can and catch the biggest and find the Puerto Rican boa. And Spectacle came in. So that was the goal. The goal was let's just record the ending and the story will come after.
Yeah.
So we went that route, and now the story in my brain is coming together. So at
Kind of
first, it
forming.
was
Yeah.
gonna be about the reticulated python, but there's not a lot on the reticulated python. How it got there, what it's doing, we find like us finding them. So that storyline is just too basic for me. So I made it a little bit about myself, a little bit selfish, but it's a different way to tell a story. I want it to be like because I was born there, I was raised there. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably start in Florida with the crocodiles and then there.
Cool.
So
Yeah, that's
that's
awesome.
storyline I'm gonna take probably.
When did you move from Puerto Rico to Florida?
That was 2010, January 17, 2010.
You remember the exact day? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was a nightmare.
Was
I
it?
did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did not want to come. No.
And how do you feel now?
It was a great, great decision from my mom. It's like honestly, I come from a fucking crazy upbringing, like
Okay.
crazy. So if I would have stayed, it wouldn't have ended good. So, uh, I know two languages now. I think that's important in my
Yeah.
life. And then like the animals down there is very limiting. It's a small island, you know. Out here, like I got to experience like 10 times what the people there can. So I'm happy with the decision.
Yeah. Do you think you still would have been working with animals if you were there?
Yeah, there's no way around it.
Yeah.
There was no way around it. Like
One
I don't know
track
what
mind.
else.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
One track mind. Like that's
Yeah.
just the only thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I only know how to do two things. That's social media and animals. There's nothing
Animals.
else.
And you're killing it at both of them, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I literally that's all I know.
Yeah. So a long time ago, actually, when you came on, you were kind of just starting off with the social media aspect as well,
Mhm.
and you said something that was actually really smart. Is you wanted to make you wanted the social media to grow around you, not the animals, because
Yep.
that way it's more of a you're not going anywhere regardless of where
Yep.
the animals goes. And how did that work out?
It did pretty good. It did amazing, honestly. That's how I get so many doors open because of that. Because people go, "Oh, I know who you are." I
Right.
get a lot of people that hate me, of course, but that's normal. But
Yeah.
it opened a lot of doors. Like my second job with Imperial was because of that. I recorded a video on Alex's table, and then from there we kept in touch on social media. He liked my stuff. That's how I got that. Like people just watch my stuff, and then they see me, and then we make a connection right there. So like even where I work. A lot of people go there and they look for me specifically, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's content creators and stuff like that. And then I make a connection with them, and then from there I find out like, oh, this person has crocodile monitors and they want me to babysit their house because they don't trust anyone else. And then boom,
Right.
I got a connection and I got a new job there. So
Yeah.
I think it worked for the best. It opened many doors that I did not have before. And if I'm just showing an animal in my hand, it would have never opened those doors. Like honestly, like last Animal Con, like I met so many people from Canada. Like
Yeah.
that would have never happened, but because I put myself out there, they knew what I look like. I know what they look like. So we all met up and it's like, I don't know. It just opened the doors for everything that I have now.
No, that absolutely makes sense. Do you mind me asking you what you mentioned, another job, another connection. How many things are your hands in right now?
Dude, I don't know. If I'm being honest, so my hands specifically, I got the zoo, I got Imperial. I have this other one that my friend just got me, and it's like social media for a photography and art company. But that, like, whenever I pick something like that, I do a lot of social media for a lot of places. Whenever I get too much on me, I throw it at my friends, and then they
Cool.
do it for me. They edit for me, and then I post. So I have a few of those, and then things just come in and out. Like when Chandler went to Australia, I watched his house. So that like I
Cool.
worked at his house, I took care of his facility, and like I do the same thing for a lot of people. They leave the country, they have animals, so I go in, I take care of the animals, clean their poop, clean enclosures, and they trust me because I'm safe because I work with crocodilians and venomous, and I don't do anything crazy. I don't free handle anything like that. So I'm a trusted individual to a lot of people. So whenever something like that comes around, somebody travels in Florida and they're my friends, I usually go in and step in. So that's a job usually. Social media, I have my hands on a million things. I get calls all the time like, hey, can you help me with this? And then that's a job.
Yeah. And then you got the podcast as well, and you
Yeah,
got
the podcast every Sunday we record. We have not missed ones. So it's like I'm always around the entire state.
yeah. How far are you from where you record? You're obviously you're at Yoshi's house right now. That's where you
Yeah.
guys record. How far
Yeah.
are you? How far is Wild Florida?
So I where I live is like 30 minutes from Wall, Florida is an hour. So
Wow.
I drive up here after work if I have to, an hour. If it's from home, it's 30 minutes. And then from my house, Wall, Florida is an hour as well. So I drive down an hour every day and an hour back every day.
That's dope, man. You're doing some cool stuff. All right, let's dive into some of the crocodile stuff because I want to talk to you about like the actual training aspect of it. And I
Hmm.
guess I started off with like, are they really being trained,
Yeah.
or is it just like what we're perceiving it as? Like, if you could like kind of touch on that for a second. Like, do you really think like when people think train, like training a dog, you're obviously not training it to sit or whatever, but like,
Uh-huh.
how similar is it to that? Like, how much do they really understand?
It's about the same. The type of training is exactly the same as you would train a dog, and it's because of what the animal does like naturally. So alligators and crocodiles are animals of habit, and they have a very small brain, but a large portion of it is used for memorizing. They memorize the patterns of animals. So let's say a deer comes to drink water every single day at the same time. The Nile crocodile is across, or the alligator is across, watching that deer do the same thing over and over. It memorizes that deer drinks water at that spot at this time. So then it
Interesting.
goes under the water and waits for him to come back. He comes back the next day, crocodile or alligator takes advantage, brings him in. That's how they hunt. So to train them, you recreate the patterns, right? So they know how to get food. They memorize, they get food. So if I want an alligator to remember his name, for example, we work with one, his name is Crusher. I'll say Crusher. If he turns towards me, he's gonna turn towards me regardless because I have food. I'll just reward him with food. And then that way he understands whenever I say that word, he approaches. And then if I say anything else, like I'm talking right now, he will never approach because the one word is not coming up. Like
Right.
sometimes he's looking away and I'm talking about him. I'm not calling him. But let's say I'm talking to you and I say something like Crusher's a big alligator. He hears Crusher in that sentence, he turns
Starts
towards
to
me.
inspiration.
Yeah. So because they remember that sound gives me food. So we recreate all the patterns. If I ask him to come up, at first he's gonna try and bite me. He's gonna try and jump at me. He might just go underwater. And it takes a little while, but once he figures out that the movement or the word up, once he brings his head up, I bring him food. Then he goes, okay, that's what he wants me to do. If he tries to bite me, and he does not get me and he doesn't get food, that's a waste of energy. They don't waste energy. If you ever see videos and photos of them, they're very still animals. They don't move
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much. They move with a purpose. They move to eat, they move to breed, they move to thermoregulate. They have to have a purpose. So whenever they try and jump and bite and they fail, they go, I wasted my energy on that. Let's not try that tactic again. And then little by little, you go and start teaching them like to hold in place. I can touch his teeth. I can touch his nostrils, eyes, his ears. I can touch all around his face as much as I want. Sometimes he does try and jump. Sometimes he does try and bite. Those things happen like daily, honestly. And the more he tries and fails, the less he actually does it. Because he goes, every time I do this, I get nothing. If I hold in place, he just gives me free food. He has to do nothing physical to get the
Right.
food. So they're very intelligent in that. And then another thing is like crocodilians as a whole, they are part of the archosaurs. So archosaurs include the dinosaurs, the birds, and the crocodilians. So because they're in that clade, like the birds, they have that same almost like mentality
Intelligence.
and yeah, not intelligence exactly, maybe to a raptor I could compare it maybe, but the pattern recognition is exactly the same. The way they take care of their babies is exactly the same. The way they build their nests is exactly the same. So think of them less of a reptile but unlike a not so intelligent bird is what I try
Interesting.
to compare them more to because that's what they're related to.
A much larger, much stronger, much yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's crazy. And like so you kind of mentioned it there, they don't want to waste their energy, but like how do
Mhm.
you kind of balance staying safe yourself while still being in such close quarters with them? And you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
obviously we're all reptile keepers we work with, you know, I know how to avoid a snake biting me or whatever
Mhm.
it is, but we're talking about cr- Nile crocodiles, alligators, animals that you know. It's not just a small bite. It's
Mhm.
if
Is
this goes
death.
wrong, it goes very wrong. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it takes like years of visualizing the animal. So like I took a long time. Well, we all of the people in my team, we take a long time just watching the animal and the capabilities. So I'm never standing in a place where he can actually grab me. I make it seem like I am on purpose because a lot of times it's a show. So I stand in places where it looks sketchy, but it's not. So they have eyes on top of the head and to the sides. They can't really see in front of them. Also, when they open their mouth, they can't see inside their mouth. So I don't, but I could put my hand inside his mouth. He will never know.
Because he can't
So,
see where your hand is.
exactly. Now, if a water droplet falls from my hand into his tongue, he closes. Exactly. So I can control a lot of those things. Where I stand again, like I just know where to stand, with Crusher specifically, I understand where I can stand. I understand where he can turn and grab. I step on the bite zone, and I have another leg outside of it. So whenever he turns, I can just pull my other leg, and then I get him to spin. That's one of the new behaviors we do with him. We stand on the bite zone, and then we get out so that he spins, and people can see how fast they can actually move. If it's like Nile crocodiles, then sometimes like we have 16 footers. We have like really big Nile crocodiles, and uh we bring a stick just in case as an extension of my hand. Just in case he gets too close, I can put it between me and the animal. He bites a stick, I have a chance at getting out. Other than that, I run around like crazy. So
Yeah.
it's important to get them to exercise. So a lot of times we actually get them to chase us, like on purpose, get them to chase us a little bit on land. They're not that fast on land, at least. So stick on hand, know where you stand, and know the capability of the animal. Like if you're working with a Nile crocodile, that's very different from a Cuban that can gallop on land.
I
If
was about to
you
ask about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are two different animals. You got to know Cuban crocodile, you need a little bit more distance because he can jump up a little bit faster. Now, crocodile is very big and heavy. They're a little bit faster than what they look, but nothing crazy. Alligators are easy. They're like frogs. That's what people call them in Australia. They literally call them frogs because they have a big head. They can't move it around very quickly, at least for the big ones. So very easy to avoid. But knowing the species capability of the animal, one of the crazier ones is honestly slender snouted crocodiles. They have a thin snout. It's not very heavy, so they can just move around it's nothing. And a big alligator has to move their big old head up and like
Yeah.
walk around with it. So I just memorize what the animal's capabilities are and then work with those animals accordingly.
Are the slender snouted as deadly or as dangerous as something like, say, because like it's kind of hard to imagine with such a slim, like a slender snout, I guess from the name, that they can actually grab something, and I guess they can still death roll. They can still have a
You,
tight grip, or like, yeah.
your bones will be broken.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
imagine. So a lot of them, the average is like 2,000 psi that they can have.
Wow.
So 2,000 psi on an alligator is like in this area, right? So you have 2,000 psi in different points throughout the snout that he can put pressure on. Now imagine all of that force in a snout this big.
Right.
So it's still the same
Right.
force. It's just going there. Your bone will break. So
It's
if they
just in a,
grab,
yeah.
yeah, your bone will break and they'll thrash and they'll make sure you are not coming out of that water. And they can move.
Yeah.
They can grab, let go, and grab again somewhere else. They're a lot faster. So yeah, they're very deadly. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you do you see individual personality traits in different crocodiles, and like how do you explain that in terms of like towards the training? Does that make sense?
Yeah. They all have different personalities. To explain a little bit of personalities when it comes to feeding, a lot of them have favorite things and things they hate. So there's an alligator. His name is Dexter, and Dexter only likes real meat. So if
Interesting.
he comes over, I give him a rat, he'll swallow it, and he'll come up and do more training. If I gave him a Missouri croc
Yeah.
chow,
Yeah.
I put it in his
Oh,
mouth, he will spit it out and walk away. Like he's like, nope, we're
interesting.
done. Crusher, one time we gave him a watermelon because a lot of people on social media do that. We wanted to do it. He did not do shows for 5 days. He was like, nope, I don't care about y'all. Y'all played me. I don't like what you guys did. And then when it comes to training, a lot of people think like we raise these animals to be like trained. No, Crush is a wild alligator. I can train a wild crocodilian like it's nothing. They're very good as long as they're willing to eat. If they're willing to eat, they're very easy to train because they catch onto the pattern very, very quickly. But then you have like our slender snouts, all three of them. It took us a year for them to even come up to us. They're very shy animals at first, but once they're bold enough, they start chasing and going crazy. So individualistic animals like here and there, yeah, like very different. Some alligators never come up for training at all. Some alligators I've never seen. Sometimes they come up and I'm like, I've never seen this alligator in my life. Like he probably is
Yeah.
just in the back catching fish on his own. He doesn't care about us, and that's completely fine. We have a huge pond. They can live their life in the swamp if they want to.
You have their life in the swamp. That's fascinating. I actually that's so that brings up two of the questions that I actually had on the list to ask you. The first one is you're not forcing them into doing these shows. They
Mm-mm.
have complete option. If they don't want to do the show,
Mhm.
they don't have to.
Yeah, so we have signs, especially for Crusher, signs on the glass that say that if Crusher is on land, he does not want to do the show, and we're not going to force him. That's it. So if he's on land, we don't even try. It's like, okay, he's on land. We're not doing a show today because he needs to bask. He needs to be under the sun. And if that's the case, we're not going to take away the needs of the animal for a show.
Right.
Like people need to understand that's what it is. Sometimes we go in to do a show, especially in the winter. You call him over, he swims away from you, and then you go, all right, that's it. We're not gonna do anything because once you force it, you die. Honestly, because imagine it's a big animal. Crusher's 14 feet long. If you
Wow.
go and you try and force that alligator to do
Wow.
a training and he doesn't want to, he might choose to kill you. He might just go, you know what? You're making me angry. And the reaction will be to bite. But if you allow them to choose, it's a lot easier because they'll come over willingly and they'll be a lot. The shows are just better. They come up, they want to do this stuff. You hear jaw pops. He comes over to his name, comes up. You can, at the end of the show, we actually give him a kiss, like on his snout. And sometimes, if he's not having it, he'll jump at your face. You don't want that. Like, that's
Yeah.
scary. So, yeah, they choose if they want to show up. Same thing
Crazy.
for we have a feeding show. All the alligators show up. They jump up for a line. If they don't show up, then there's no show. There's nothing we can do about it.
That's fascinating. Okay, and then so the other follow up, you mentioned the food. If in theory, tomorrow, let's say, like starting tomorrow, you could no longer use any food with training the alligators or the crocodiles or whatever, how would you approach training then?
Oh, that's a hard one
Good.
because you need rewards. They don't care about pets. They don't care about none of that. I don't think you could.
You don't think it's possible?
Not to start. No, like I can train right now without food because they already know the pattern. But I don't think I could build one without the food. No.
Okay.
That's like
Yeah.
they're not domesticated, they're not friendly, they don't really like me. They don't care for me. They're
Yeah.
indifferent. Like if I fall in front of them, they'll kill me 100%.
Right.
So
There's
it's
no
like,
love.
yeah, there's no love. They don't care
Yeah.
about you. And even if there was any form of care for you, the way that crocodilians interact with each other, like they're built with armor and their heads don't have any muscle, it's skin on top of bone. So a lot of times their communication's a little love bite, like, hey,
Right.
back up. If
Yeah.
they
Yeah. Yeah.
cared for us like crocodilians, we're made out of this jello stuff. Like it wouldn't work.
We're
So I
done.
don't think I could train them without food. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah. What about fear? You said you try
I
to
thought
kiss
of
them.
that. I
No,
just
sorry,
thought of
no,
that.
sorry. I no, I don't mean. I would not advocate for that. I guess that is a method. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I
You mean
just
using
thought of
fear
that.
to train them? Yeah.
Yeah,
No. No.
so that's actually done in Indonesia.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They drop the crocodiles a lot if they
Yeah.
try to bite and stuff, and then they do tricks with them. So
Okay.
that's the only other way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so they train dogs using fear in certain places in the
Hmm.
Middle East as well. I obviously don't approve of that,
Hmm.
and I don't approve of it with alligators either. Sorry, I I shouldn't have asked that question right after that. My
No,
question
you're
was,
okay.
my question actually was like, what about your fear? So you said you lean down to kiss them, and that's a little scary. Did it take you a while to kind of build up this resistance to the fear of working with them, or are you just crazy enough to like never have had the fear?
No, if you don't have fear, you should not work with them.
Okay,
Straight
yeah,
up.
you need the
Like,
healthy respect, healthy fear for
yeah,
them.
my heart drops to my ass on a daily basis, bro. Like, like
Mid sip, like
actually, yeah, like
oh,
you have to be scared. There's actually people that I have worked with, and they literally go, "Oh, I don't feel fear." I'm literally like, "Yo, walk out, get out the cage." Like, I don't even want to look at you. Like, if you say I don't feel fear, I don't want you near me. Like,
yeah, yeah,
straight up. Like, if you don't have any fear, get out. I don't want you near me. I don't trust you. It's
right,
scary. It's very scary. But I think like whenever you memorize their patterns, like for the first time that I trained Crusher and I went in for the kiss, I knew their patterns. I knew what to like how to move. I knew how my body was supposed to be positioned. And honestly, when I leaned in, I couldn't help but smile because adrenaline's rushing. And I was like, I'm doing the thing. And I
right,
felt comfortable in myself. Like I was scared, my heart's pounding, but I'm like, I got this. I know what to do. If he tries and jump, like I bring his head up on purpose, very high. That way he can't just slap up. You know, if he wants to jump, as I'm kissing him, I can see his legs, and I can see when they start to build the momentum to
Momentum
jump,
to, yeah.
and then I can move. So like, because I know all those things, I'm scared, but I'm still willing to do it because I'm taking an educated risk. So
Right.
it feels less scary. Sometimes you have to commit. I've committed into some crazy stuff. Like if I have to jump in, like at my other job, my first time jumping an alligator, one of my coworkers jumped on top of one alligator that we had to catch, and then the alligator dragged them in the water. And then a second one was going towards my friend, and he can't
Right.
let go of the one he has. So I jumped in and jumped on top of the alligator.
Instinctively.
Yeah, because there was nobody else close enough, but I had seen everyone else do it. So I was like, I know what to do in the moment. Just 1 second, just I landed on it. And then after that, I'm like, okay, somebody tell me, what do I do next? Because all
What's
I knew
next?
was,
Yeah.
yeah, all I knew is get on it. I didn't know, like, do I pick this thing up? How do I go about it? How do I not get bit? So,
Yeah.
yeah, the fear, it's always there. It's always there. And it should be. It always should be. If your heart's not pounding when you do it, you shouldn't do it, because that's what keep you. That's it keeps you alive, but it also makes your brain think about the next move. You're like you have to be 10 steps ahead. If you're going
Yeah.
comfortable, like it's a ball python, your brain is just fuzzy. You're gonna get bit.
Yeah.
Like you have to be thinking like I'm going in. That thing's trying to kill me. How do I get it to not kill me? Like today, we fed. There's a pond with 4 Cuban crocodiles. A jacare came in and like 50 alligators. So you have
Crazy.
Cuban crocodiles that gallop. You have jacare came in. She's nice. She doesn't do anything. But then the gators come out of nowhere, like from all around. So you have to work around over 50 different animals, and you have to go. All of them are trying to kill me all at once. They know I have their food. How do I go in this enclosure, get the food in the water, and get out safely? And then, of course, we have a team of people. We plan. You're gonna be backup. You're gonna throw the food. You're gonna be second backup. You're gonna have a stick on your hand, and this is the plan. And we go all in together because of that. You have to work as a team. I can't go in there by myself. They'll kill me.
Right. Yeah. And they all have different behaviors, I assume, as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. Some of them are very scared of you. Some of them are bold. Some of them won't stop coming at you. Some of them are very good with the training. Some of them are like, "Fuck you and your training. I don't care."
Yeah.
Just they're just coming up.
Is it also to a certain extent species determined? Like, are there certain crocodiles that are smarter than other crocodiles, or alligators smarter than caimans? Like, is there anything like that, or is it purely individual based rather than
Yeah.
species based?
I'd say is like a lot of people argue, oh, the Cuban is the smartest. Not really. They're all the same. I could train any of them to do pretty much anything. Like
Cool.
it's I don't think there's something I could teach a Cuban that I can't teach an alligator. So I think it's all individual if they're willing to do it, and if they want to, follow the patterns that we're actually building. And if they're scared of us, it's a lot harder, because then you have to break that fear, because maybe like they remember humans catching them, so then they stay away from us. So we have to like break that fear and like work a lot harder. But I can get almost any crocodilian to do any behavior that I can get any other crocodilian doing. So uh I think intelligence, I feel like they're all very similar. When it comes to capabilities, is where the difference comes in. So slender snouts, they can move a lot faster because their snout is so thin.
Right.
So with Crusher, I can kiss Crusher on the snout and I feel safe. I wouldn't do it with a slender snout.
Right.
Can I get it done? Yeah, I can get it done, but I'm not gonna risk it,
Not worth
But
the
can
risk.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
can I train them to do it? Yeah, 100%. They'll learn it. And then Cuban crocodiles can gallop. I'm not getting that close to that crocodile, because the jump of an alligator versus a crocodile, that Cuban crocodile, is very different. So capability, very different. I don't think like the training itself is different. Just the animal itself, what it's capable of, and not because of the brain or mentality, but because of their structure is different.
Right.
So I train a dwarf caiman. They're like 4 and 5 feet, and I train them to do a lot of the things I do with Crusher. They come over to their name, they come up, they hold in place. I touch their eyes, their ears, their teeth. I touch all around, but I'm not kissing that little thing. Their heads is like this small, and they weigh nothing. They'll just shoot out at your face. Like, no. Can I get it done? Yeah, 100%. I just rather not lose my face.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I believe a couple, like maybe a couple of months ago or whatever, I do recall you posting something
Mhm.
about the dwarf caimans being like the ones people should be the most careful with, or something like that.
Yeah,
Is that true?
Yeah, just because, and not because they're like stronger or meaner, but like for our dwarf caiman, for example, she lays eggs, right? If a Cuban crocodile lays eggs, I'm going in with a stick. I can keep that crocodile away from me. I put the stick on top of her snout, and I can push her away. And just like every time she comes over, I just push her away. The caiman, her head is this small. She'll get around that stick in 2 seconds. Like there's nothing you can do about it. We've brought shields before, and she's willing to. Like they're great moms, so she will come full speed. That little 4 footer, and if you go in thinking you can just do whatever, she will bite you. Like no doubt about it. The stick is not gonna do much. So a lot of people either grab them and put them somewhere else, or they bring a shield. But a lot of people underestimate what the caiman is. The caiman is a crocodilian that lives, well, dwarf caiman. It's a caiman that lives in small creeks that dry out, so they're very terrestrial. And they stay on the small creeks because the big rivers have the big crocs. They have Orinoco's, they have Morlets, they have American crocodiles. So they stay in the little creeks all scared. Everything's trying to kill them. Jaguars, crocodiles, birds of prey. So whenever you see a caiman, he's not mean, but he will fuck you up because he is scared. Crocodiles, the big ones, are bold. They're not scared of you. They're gonna come over to you. A caiman's like, you're trying to kill me. I'm gonna get you first.
Right. Right. That
So
makes sense.
it's a different vibe to them.
Yeah. And that brings up a great point, which I've been waiting to ask you. And right since we've landed on Caymans, I'm gonna hit you with this right now. I don't know how it is over there. I'm sure it's very similar. It's probably even worse if not. But over here in Canada, obviously we can't keep them as pets, but a lot of people through the black market.
Yep.
I know a few people. I'm not gonna like say anything, but I know a few people that have them in their kitchen, for example. Like
Yeah.
caimans are common here as pets. What's
Yeah.
your opinion
I think it's
as a professional?
I think it's horrible because there's multiple things that people don't understand about crocodilians. And like, I'm not gonna shit talk nobody, but once I say it, you guys can go and see like exactly what I'm talking about. So there's two things with that. A lot of people underestimate caimans. Caiman, especially dwarves, they can cause a lot of damage. They can cause nerve damage. They can take fingers. They can break your hand. If they thrash or roll, you might lose something. Like it's not worth it. I don't think a caiman bite is worth having just for a pet, just to be cool. I don't think it's that cool. The second point is that crocodilians as a whole suffer in northern states, in Canada, in California, because indoors in general, they suffer a lot. A lot of people don't realize this, but whenever you keep them indoors in your kitchen and stuff, they there's no light bulb that matches the sun, so the animal structure changes. The facial structure changes. That's why you see whenever you see a caiman, a crocodile, or an alligator with their snout up, with their
Yeah,
teeth pointing outwards, bad diet and no sunlight.
yeah,
So one, you can get hurt really bad. Two, the animal suffers because it gets a version of MBD. They get microfractures on their face and slowly you dysmorph their face into different things. They lose coloration. They're softer. Their scutes are soft whenever you touch them. So very, I just don't agree with it because of that. I couldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to keep an animal that I love and that I respect, knowing that I'm hurting it in that way.
it's not
If you
right.
see a lot of alligators, specifically, whenever you see them throughout the states and people post them, you see their faces like almost white. That's never seen
Yeah,
in the wild, and their heads are wider than normal. That's not normal. Their snouts are wide enough, but they're actually long. Uh, uh, their eye positioning changes, their teeth pointing outwards, their gums always bleeding. Um, a lot of people look past that because it's cool. It's an alligator. It's cool. It's a crocodile. It's cool. It's a caiman. But in reality, the animal is being hurt just for your own pleasure. I think the only person benefiting from keeping an animal like that is you because you make yourself happy, but the animal suffers.
yeah. Is it true that caimans, specifically going back to the dwarf caimans, actually specifically, is it true that it takes like somewhere around like 10 years to reach adult, like mature, full
Yeah.
maturity? So
Yeah.
that's not the effect of them being grown indoors.
No. I mean, it probably is affected by that too. It probably takes a little longer, but they take a long time. So even crocodiles and alligators, I don't know. Depends on the crocodile species, of course, because they're different sizes. But for alligators, even at 10 years old, they're not full grown.
Yeah.
Like for alligators, for a big one, you need like a 30-year-old,
Wow.
30 and
Wow.
up. If you see a 10-year-old, he might be like 9 feet long. That alligator might grow to be 15 at some point.
Right.
But they grow, alligators grow 1 foot every single year for the first 6 to 8 years. And then after that, it slows down a lot. So by 6 years old, they're like 6 feet long. And then after that, it slows down so much, depending on, genetics and all that. But it slows down so much that even at 20 years old, they're not that big. They still got, like, our albino is 20 years old and he's not that big.
Still growing.
Still growing, has a lot of growing to do.
Fascinating. Let me ask you about diet, since we're kind of on the topic of them as pets. Um, are most people feeding them, like for monitors, for example? A lot of monitors are insectivores. People are feeding them rats like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a big misconception on uh, caiman diets and frequency of feeding?
100%. So crocodilians in general, caiman are a little bit different. I just don't know the numbers, but let's put it big first, and then we'll go back to the caiman. So
Yeah, yeah.
crocodilians in general, the large ones like alligators and crocodiles, can eat 6 to 12 times in an entire year. Most of the time, when scientists grab an alligator and check the stomach is empty, it's usually empty. They don't move much. They have to memorize the patterns of animals. It takes a long time for them to actually hunt. That's why they don't move much and why they don't lose energy. They like to stay very still and only use that energy whenever they absolutely need to. Now, the diet itself, for most of those animals, they're apex predators. And an apex predator of that form, which is they stand very still and wait for things to get close to them, they're eating whatever is most abundant. So, an alligator in a pond is going to eat whatever is most abundant in that pond. Why? Because the likelihood of that species of passing by is a lot higher.
It's higher.
If that pond has mostly turtles, his main source of food is going to be turtles. If the apple snails are taking over that pond, his main source of food is apple snails. If it's a species of fish, that is his main food. The job of that animal is to control the population of the animals in his habitat, because whatever is most abundant is the most likely animal that they can grab. So when it comes to caiman, very similar. I wouldn't say they eat 6 or 12 times a year. I feed ours like every 2 weeks. And even then they're lean, they look nice, but they look like a captive caiman. Like, he looks good. Whenever you catch one in the wild, they don't look that good. So
Right.
I think a lot of people, yeah, like rats, too many rats is not great. It has to be a little bit of variety and think about what the animal's actually eating. So we feed rats, we feed quail, we feed fish, we feed reptilinks whenever they send them. I feed like literally anything and everything that we get. Um, and for that species, they eat a lot of crabs in the wild because they're like terrestrial animals for half of the year. They can eat crabs, they can eat crayfish, fish, they can eat rodents, they can eat birds, they can eat like very small, easy stuff like that. So I think like just one thing is not good. And then whenever people feed, this is something I see all the time. It's like people buy like fish fillets, right? That's not good. It's not good enough because they need the organs of the animals.
They need everything, the full, complete
Yeah,
animal. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the meat or chicken, just chicken. Like, no, that's not good enough because the meat does not bring the nutrients that they need. Something that alligators suffer from a lot of places that only feed chicken or red meat is vitamin E. Vitamin E is only found on plants. So they get it from the animals that eat plants. And vitamin E is stored in the liver of those animals. So very important that the crocodilian is getting liver, So very, like, all of those things are very important. Bones are important because that's calcium. Like, they need every part of an animal. The fur is very important because they cannot digest it. So it cleans their intestines. So whenever they
Fascinating.
poop all the hair out. So that's the intestine getting clean. Same thing with humans. If you eat corn, we can't digest it. The corn cleans you out.
Right.
Same thing with them and fur and keratin and stuff like that. So I think a lot of people just become too used to,
Lazy.
like, yeah, lazy. Is just feed it rats. Like, you can do that, but the lifespan of the animal is going to be a lot shorter because of it. And you might change the way the animal looks because of it, because he might not be getting a nutrient that makes his bones stronger, that gets him to form correctly or grow at a decent rate.
Yeah, fascinating. It's actually it's funny. They're obviously heavily aquatic animals, and the thought of them eating turtles and fish and apple snails never
Hmm.
even crossed my mind. Is
Yeah.
there, earlier you talked about not wasting energy and it's
Hmm.
not being worth it. Is there even enough nutrition in like an apple snail for them
Yes.
to be worth the yeah? Okay.
Yeah, so apple snails don't move very fast, so it's an easy grab. And then
Okay.
apple snails are filter feeders, and they feed on the algae of things, so they're absorbing a lot of nutrients. They're eating plants, they're eating algae, they eat dead stuff. So the snail itself it has so many nutrients depending on what that snail is eating. So yeah, and then the females have eggs, and the eggs have different nutrients as well. The shell, like it's calcium, like it's all of it is very important, especially for younger ones eating apple snails. Now the bad thing about apple snails in captivity, that is parasites. They do carry a lot of parasites.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've
then,
heard that with like other reptile species of like not to feed aquatic
yeah,
snails to terrestrial reptiles.
yeah, and the way crocodilians or alligators, because I don't know every species, but alligators deal with it is they eat rocks. So whenever they eat rocks, the I forgot what it is. It's like salt in the rocks or something that help clean out the bacteria or the parasites. And then sometimes alligators go to salt water. They swallow some salt water, cleans out their system, come back to fresh water.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Okay,
Yeah.
I have a thought, but I'm gonna ask you this before the thought. Turtles, how nutritious is it, and how easy is it for them to like crush the shells?
Oh, turtles are very nutritious because, especially sliders, they're omnivores. They're eating meat and they're eating plants. So they're getting vitamin E and they're getting proteins and they're getting all that stuff. And then the shell itself, it's made out of scutes, which alligators have their own scutes. So it's probably very good. It adds more calcium, more strength to their bones. And it's very simple. Alligators don't go after everything. A lot of times you can find alligators in the wild with turtles all over him basking
Yeah,
because they don't go after everything. They eat once a month, if that, and they'll just grab one. Like it's easy. They're already next to him. So very simple. They can just hide, wait for a turtle to come by, or get the turtles used to you. They'll bask on the same log, and one day he just decides to grab them. And then after that, alligators have over 2,000 psi of pressure, so they'll break through that shell like it doesn't exist, like just straight through it, crush it all the way down, and swallow the whole thing.
okay, okay, I love it. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned sliders. Okay, so here's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
This is genius. I think it's genius. Ready for this?
Yep.
What's one invasive species that's like super invasive everywhere in the world? Ready? Your
Turtles.
sliders.
Yeah.
Or different turtles. Why are we not catching these turtles and feeding them to alligators?
Because people
Problem
will cry
solved.
about it. People will
Yeah, I
cry
guess
about it.
fair, fair, fair.
People do it with iguanas here. A lot of people
They feed
hunt
them to
iguanas.
alligators.
Yeah, and they grab that iguana meat and they feed it to the alligators. Same thing with hog. Some people grab hogs and then they cut pieces and sell them to zoos to be
Are hogs
fed.
invasive in Florida as well?
Yep. Yep. So I don't think we've ever gotten hog. At the other park, we used to get hog all the time from some hunters. Um, we've never gotten iguana, but in the parks down south, they'll get iguanas and feed them off.
So what you're saying is my idea is not that genius and it's been thought of before.
I mean, I think it's genius, and that's why it was thought of before.
Yeah, I like that. I
Yeah,
like that. Okay,
yeah,
okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
It is used, but a lot of people don't show it because people in the industry would talk against it because people in the industry love reptiles so much.
right.
For me, I don't really care. I post whatever. I post feeding bunnies. I post like what? I don't care. It's like you're
Yeah,
gonna watch, and if the comments
right.
anybody comes at me, I go right back. It's fine. But a lot of people
I
don't like that.
I know I've seen. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's great. That's very fascinating. Um, Maybe we should touch on invasive species for a second, but
Yeah.
like I don't even what's your so okay, what's your opinion on cats?
Horrible. Horrible invasive animals. They bring so many species down. They've gotten a lot of species extinct, especially in Hawaii. There's been a few birds gone extinct because of cats, but also the introduction of other invasives as well. But cats being number one. Outdoor cats are not good. They're everywhere, but they're not good. In Australia, actually, it's legal to kill them now, and people are literally having war with them.
Why are we not feeding cats to alligators? Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Whoa.
We have the solution
Canceled.
for everything. Just feed everything to alligators. No, that's fascinating. I will say though, you mentioned them killing a lot of places. Obviously, I'm from the Middle East,
Hmm.
and I'll give you like Jordan for example.
Hmm.
There is you can walk in the streets and almost not see any native. You don't see native birds. You don't see native rodents. You barely see native reptiles. And everywhere you look,
A
cats.
cat. Yep.
Everywhere you look. Oh,
Hmm.
not a cat. Cats, like
Hmm.
thousands of them. It's crazy. So they're definitely a bigger issue than people are willing to admit. And you're right. It's because of like, oh, it's a cat. It's people's babies.
Yeah.
So it's like it's even frowned upon to even bring this topic up. But
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
it's
it's,
crazy.
and every side is hypocrite, because the dog people point at the cat people point at the dog, and
Right.
then they both point at reptiles, and reptiles are pointing that way, and it's like everybody's fucked. Like,
Yeah.
hold
Are
up, like
dogs a problem too?
in a lot of places, yeah, in a lot of
Okay.
places they're a huge problem. They chase down like rodents, they chase down other dog species like foxes, especially in smaller areas. Yeah, they compete for a lot of food against a lot of animals.
So now we're feeding dogs to alligators too. I'm getting us canceled on this episode.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, this
literally.
is exactly what's happening. Okay. Enough of that. Let's quickly jump back to the crocodiles. Are there any misconceptions that people have about crocodile intelligence in general that you want to like kind of put an end to?
Yeah, a lot of people think they're just killing machines, and there's this guy. I'm gonna give all credit to him, Chris Gillette.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I
uh,
Gator Boy Chris on
yeah,
Instagram, right? Yep,
yes, Gator Boy
absolutely.
Chris says, he always says something that I'm always like, "Damn, bro, you're right." It's like a lot of people see crocodilians as like this killing machine, right?
Yeah,
And then you have this other group that sees them as this cute little thing that they want to have as a pet, right?
right.
And the truth, what he says is like, it's right in the middle. It's like, he will fuck you up. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But if you leave it alone, he won't. He's cute, but he's cute from a distance. You know what I mean? Like, the
Yeah.
truth is right in the middle. He's not an apex, like, he is an apex predator, but he's not a killing machine. He's also not dog tamed. He's in the middle. Depends on
Yeah.
you, how you treat the animal, what the outcome is. Like in
Yeah.
Florida, we have springs and they're open to the public. We go swimming in there. We see alligators at the bottom. There's 2 million alligators in the state of Florida. If we were
Yeah.
on the menu, people would be dropping left and right. But in the last 50 years, only 37 people have died.
Right.
So it's
In
like,
the
we're
wait,
not on
sorry,
the
say
menu.
that number again.
So we have 2 million in the state of Florida. In the last 50 years, 37 people have died.
That's it.
That's it.
And they make it seem like there are people dying every day.
No, it's just not a thing. We literally swim with, like, Floridians swim with them all the time. And usually
Yeah.
when somebody dies, it's either an accident or you're fucking with them.
Or it's your fault. Yeah.
Yeah, the last one
Yeah.
was a lady. She was kayaking, and I guess she was taking a photo of it and allowed her kayak to keep floating. And then the kayak got on top of the back of the alligator, and he spun, grabbed her, brought her in the water, and let her go there, and she died. But it's like,
So he didn't even eat her. He let her go there.
yeah, no, alligators don't eat people. They'll just leave you right there. They'll throw you to pieces. They might eat an arm or something, but we're too big.
That's why we're too big.
Yeah, we're too big. We're weirdly shaped. They'll get an arm and keep it moving. But
Interesting.
if they get like your chest area, like they'll just crush you and leave you there.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that makes sense. Arguably, going back to what you were saying about them being right in the middle, I think that's the world's issue right now on
Mm-hmm.
everything. People are always
Everything.
too far on this side or too far on this side, and it's never neither of anything are ever the answer.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always right in the middle, but people don't want to see that, right?
People are religious about topics.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
They're religious. It's like, hey, if you don't believe all of this, you're not my friend. You're wrong. It's like, the truth is right here, right in the middle. Like, you might care, like, let's say, oh, even the invasive stuff. It's like cats are a problem,
yeah,
dogs are a problem,
yeah,
and reptiles are a problem. Fish are a problem as invasive species, but
absolutely.
all of them will point at each other. when in reality they're all a problem.
Right.
And there's issues that we can learn and just be better. That's all it is. But people just want to point somewhere else because it's like, nope, my view is mine is not as bad as yours. You know what I mean?
You,
It's like the truth is right
absolutely.
here. Truth is right here. It's like all of it is a problem.
Yeah, for sure. So, in your opinion, do you think there is a real solution to the invasive species problem in Florida or in Puerto Rico or in any of the places where it's becoming a real problem?
So, I think the invasive species that already exist, they already exist. There's nothing to do. The only thing that can be done is uh, avoid for more species to be introduced. That's my goal in everything I do with animals, honestly. Um, because like the reticulated python in Puerto Rico, for example, came from the pet trade of the US, came from the legal pet trade in the US. In Puerto Rico, the only legal snake is the ball python.
Hmm.
And reticulated python breeders will put them in boxes, the retics, as ball pythons and send
As
them to
ball
Puerto Rico.
pythons.
That's how they got there. So they went from the legal to the illegal market just for money. That's how that animal got introduced there. Then you have animals that get poached out of the wild, boxed in, and sold for $20, right? That animal gets too big. Somebody ends up releasing it. It escapes. It gets given to somebody that does not know what they're doing. In Florida, we keep everything outside. The cage is not done well. It gets out. Boom. New species right there. So I think, as bad as it may sound to some people, I think more regulation on what it is that we do with these animals is important so that we can avoid those issues and spreading like invasive species is something I'm very passionate about. And a lot of people don't know how much there is throughout the world. Like there's green iguanas in Indonesia.
Yeah. How? Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah.
And people go, oh, it's the plant trade. No way in hell.
Yeah.
It can't be. There's I forgot what snake is in Hawaii. You got Jackson's chameleons in Hawaii. You got day geckos in Hawaii. You got red-tailed boa in Puerto Rico. Spectacle caiman in Puerto Rico. You have California king snakes in Spain, and then one other populations is albino. You have
And you think
like
that's all pet trade related?
yes, it's all pet trade. It doesn't make sense for anything else.
Right.
Like the highest animals that in those, so it all correlates together. So the berms, for example, they did DNA testing on them.
Wait, wait. So you're telling me it wasn't a hurricane that hit a facility?
No. You know what's crazy? You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? If
Yeah.
you go to Puerto Rico and you ask a local how did the reticulators got there, they'll tell you it's a hurricane.
The same story.
Same story.
Fascinating.
Same exact story. I heard it over and over again. But when I ask in Puerto Rico, I ask, what's the name of the facility? They'll tell me it was the Mayagüez Zoo. And I'm like, if it was that zoo, why are the retics found on the opposite side of the island and not there?
The hurricane blew them there.
Yeah,
Obviously.
literally. Yeah,
Obviously.
literally. So we
Okay,
always
yeah,
have this
sorry, go ahead.
joke. We always
Yeah.
have this joke in Florida with, at least I do, and the guys. I'm always like, okay, a hurricane hit a breeding farm in Florida. What was the name of it? You can
Nobody
Google it. It
knows.
doesn't come up. Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows. And then from there, it's like Hurricane Andrew. I forgot what year it happened. The first berm was found 10 years before.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. And then they did DNA testing, and they're all related in the locations that they're in to only a few released animals. And let's take that apart, because whenever I bring in green iguanas, for example, it's a big argument. Green iguanas, some people try and say that they came in through logs in the ocean and they floated here. Then why are there some islands in the Caribbean missing them?
Yeah, they wouldn't
Right?
have stopped on the way.
Yeah, somehow they made it all the way to Florida. And then when they do DNA testing on the green iguanas in Florida, they come from Colombia and El Salvador and sometimes Honduras.
Hmm.
Guess what countries were the highest imports for the pet trade of iguanas?
El
Colombia, El
Salvador.
Salvador, and Honduras.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah.
like, everything always points that way. Puerto Rico, the legal trade brought it there illegally. Pet trade. Iguanas, they come from the same place that the pet trade brings them from. If you're going to get a green iguana in Florida, come in and float. How was it not the iguanas in the Caribbean?
Yeah.
It wasn't the rhino. It was in the Antilles. It was in the Bahamian. It was in any of the ones in the Antilles are not here. Somehow the one in Colombia is
which is further away than
so much further away. We have
right.
islands that have them right next to us, and somehow from El Salvador, which is on the other side of America, made it here. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't line up. Whenever you look at the data that we do have on these animals, it's the pet trade for most of it. And it's not everything, because of course our gnolls came in through the plant trade. That is true. House geckos, plant trade. That's how they've like gone throughout the entire world. Spiders come in through the plant trade. Like small things come in through the plant trade. Absolutely. And then you have red-headed agamas that come from Africa, came in through the pet trade, and then they get released in Miami. And then Miami is very big on exotic plants. And then the agamas go on the palm trees, and then they sell those palm trees, and then they're spreading the agamas throughout the state. They're in Orlando now. Literally at my job, I've seen them. So because you see them now on a palm tree, they're like, oh, they're coming from plants. I'm like, yep. How did they come from Africa? Because if you
Yeah.
think about it, if you have it in an egg and it turns, it's gonna die. Reptile.
Right.
If it's gonna be on a plant coming all the way from Africa, the chances of it living are very low, and multiple for them to be able to breed, the chances are low. But whenever you import something for the pet trade, you bring them in the hundreds.
You bring hundreds. Yeah. Yeah.
And then one mess up, the likelihood of that is a lot higher. So I think the pet trade is guilty of more of it than people think.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
and it's like a lot of people think I hate the pet trade, which parts of it I do, honestly, but like as a whole I don't. You know what I mean? Like I do like the education side and teaching people and working with the animal and figuring things out and breeding here and there, but I also want to see the negative and go, that's fucked. We need to do something about that. Where a lot of people is like, that's not our issue. That's not the pet trade. That was a plant that brought it here. And it's like, no, look at the data. It's showing that it was us. What can we do better? Let's better the outside enclosures. Let's better the way we import animals. Let's better who we sell the animals to. Like if a kid could, like back in the day, a kid came in, iguanas were like $10, $20. A kid could
If
just buy
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like
Yeah.
that. Let's not do that again. Like that was messed up. Because now they're illegal. Tegus are illegal. We have invasive tegus. We have now monitors. Like that did not come from plants.
Yeah. It's all from the pet trade.
Yeah, Nile monitors, that's insane. We've
Yeah.
had a population of elephant snakes. We've had a
The aquatic
population.
ones?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That was like, it got taken down quick because it was like a small pond in like a trailer park. So they got taken out of there quick. And then rainbow boas are popping up in the Everglades now.
Um,
Yeah, like, and then what happens is now Puerto Rico has retics. They're gonna make news. Then Florida hears about it. They make new laws based on Puerto Rico, and then the rest of the states are gonna look at Florida and go, "Fuck no, we don't want any of that." And then Canada goes, what the
oh,
fuck? Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Yep.
What's going on down there?
Even though nothing would survive here anyway, but
Yeah,
they start putting the same rules on us too.
yeah, yeah.
It's like you put
Because
an iguana out in the middle of winter and see if it lives.
yeah, yeah, and but then that mentality makes sense in Canada, right? A lot of people in Central, North Florida, Georgia, they go, "Oh, reptile won't survive here," and it's like, yeah, they will if you understand what reptiles actually are. So, for example, in our area, Georgia, Florida, I think South Carolina, I don't know how high gopher tortoises go. They cannot tolerate the cold very well. How do they live in this habitat? They're native here. They go underground.
They brumate. Yeah. Yeah.
They go underground. They keep warmer. They brumate. So that's why tegus can make it in Georgia and survive. If it's an
Right.
animal that burrows, it can survive in our areas. If it is an animal that burrows, it can survive. Agamas are from Africa. They don't tolerate that much cold. But if they burrow, they'll
They can.
survive.
Right.
Spiny-tailed iguanas. Like green iguanas are on trees. So that's why like every year they fall
See
from
the
the
video
trees and all
falling.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it was to live on the ground, it can absolutely move up.
Right.
It depends on what the animal is. There are some animals like people just generalize reptiles with the tropics. Like, no, there's some reptiles that will fuck up some cold. There's
Can
some
handle
garter
some.
snakes. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
rattlesnakes. Like the rattlesnakes that are in snow. They don't care. They
We
just
have
go
Eastern
underground.
Muskoka rattlesnakes here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They
Yeah.
just go underground. And if you have a species from another part of the world that lives exactly like that, it can survive.
Yeah.
And that's
Fascinating. Okay.
important to know.
No, 100%. 100%. So, if you could change something about the reptile hobby, what would it be?
I
Like,
think
yeah.
the What can I change? God damn. I would change the
Everything.
mentality. Yeah. I'll start it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, I would change the mentality, honestly. The religious mentality people have when it comes to the hobby and the community in general. It's like when it comes to invasives, everybody either nobody wants to talk about it because it's a bad light for us, or people want to deny the truth and what the data shows. I would change that. I would also change the way we see each other as keepers. A lot of the times I see people like baby their animal to a certain standard and not like that's it. Like you get a care guide and you go this temperature to this temperature, this humidity to this. I think you're babying the animal way too much. Like perfect example is veiled chameleons. If you get a veiled chameleon caught in Florida and you put them outside in an enclosure, it will do fine. If you get a captive bred one, it will die the next day
Right.
because this one has been kept babied, is never experienced what life actually is. Life is never a specific temperature or humidity. Life is just all around
Super.
changing all the time. So I think that's very important and like something that I think we should practice more. And then the way we treat each other, I think there's a lot of culty behavior within it. And I don't
I
really
agree.
mess with that. Like as it is, like I'm very like I got a decent following and I know a lot of people and I've done a lot of things, but I don't interact with a lot of people within it because I'm always like the I'm almost like an outsider that usually, especially in Florida, there's so many people that hate me here. And I'm an outsider usually because they're in that culty circle. And then people come down and they meet them and then they meet me and they're like, I don't get it. Because like
Yeah.
I don't fold to what it is people do. Like people here or in general as the hobby, they follow this person and they follow them like they're Jesus. Like it's like we have to do everything this guy does. But no, everyone's a human being. Like
Yeah.
that person does things right and does things wrong, and that's completely fine. And you shouldn't look down on somebody else because of a difference of opinion and like things like that. Is what I would change because it helps the animal. I can learn from you, even though you and I disagree. I don't like snakes in tubs. There's a room next to me with snakes in tubs. That I don't change the way I have my relationship with Yoshi based on that. I have put my own opinions on it, and he's got his own opinions on it. And when it came to the blue tongue skinks, he changed the way he kept them, and he has more success than ever now.
Outside. Yeah.
And same thing with Manny and David at Tiki's Geckos. They put their stuff outside and they're like, we don't want anything else in tubs. Like this just changed. And it's just based on we all had conversations and we all went back and forth and what's possible. And then we saw somebody else do it. Like Ron St. Pierre started doing it and everybody looked at him like, oh shit,
True.
you can do that. But
Yeah.
before he did it, everyone's telling him, you are a piece of shit. You're going to kill those animals. People are talking shit about him. And then once
For
he
putting them
does it, he's a
outside.
god. Huh?
For putting them outside.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like even bearded dragons outside, people were talking all around the shows. Like that guy over there, he keeps bearded dragons outside. Don't buy it from him. And now
Yeah.
he's one of the most successful breeders
Yeah.
because he had the balls to do something different. But the shit talking around is just like instead of doing that, let him. Let's see what happens. Let's learn. Let's like the culty stuff. I think is very limiting. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think they at least in the US, I see a lot of it. In Canada, from my perspective, oh shit. From my perspective, I can't see it in Canada.
Yeah. Well, I think Yoshi said the same thing. I think what it is there's less of us here.
Hmm.
So it's kind of harder to create all these cults, but I'm sure it happens to a certain extent. I mean,
Yeah.
they are like, yeah, everyone in general is very friendly and we all get along,
Hmm.
but I'm sure it happens behind closed doors as well.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I don't know. As long as people are nice here, dude.
No.
I'm arguing all the time. I'm almost on the verge of a fight all the time, man. All the time. There's always something going on, and it's stupid. It's so stupid. And I just entertain it honestly because I don't care. It's like whatever.
It's fun
Like,
for you.
oh, it's fun. It's whatever. You're gonna bring drama, fine, dude.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll thrive in it. It is what it
Yeah.
is. And like some
Yeah.
people don't like that. Some people don't like confrontation. I'm okay with confrontation. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely fine with it. Like I've had enough of it, bro. Like it is what it is. And like
Right.
I wish it was more like, yo, I disagree with you because of this. I'd be like, all right, cool, let's talk about it. Why do you disagree?
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Cool. Chucky, I said I was gonna get you canceled. Ready for this?
Oh shit.
What's your
Okay.
opinion on ball pythons? No, I'm
uh I don't hate them. I hate what people do with them.
yeah, yeah. No. I've been waiting all episode to ask you that. No, I agree with you. That to me. I mean, there's some great ball python keepers, and
Yeah.
shout out to them. But I feel like there is a bit of a cultiness to some of them as well.
Yeah, there's a cultiness to them, and I think like the genetic stuff has gotten to people's heads so much. Like they forgot about inbreeding. They forgot like they don't care. Well, not everyone, because a lot of people are really good about it. But like recessive genes are not only visual genes for colors; they're recessive diseases that we bring up with it, and people ignore those. You know, like humans have recessive genes and recessive
Right?
diseases that come up. That's why
Yeah.
incest is so bad.
Right.
Partly why.
Partly why.
So
Yes.
yeah, but then you do that with animals, and then things pop up, and it's like, oh, that's completely fine, and it's like, no, and then you're limiting the bloodlines of animals, and then I don't know. I just don't like the idea of that. Like, I don't really care for morphs and stuff like that. I like the animals just how they are.
Yeah. No, that's
Mhm.
that's I mostly asked as a joke, but Chucky, man, this was a fascinating episode. You were an awesome guest. I love the energy. What's next for Mad by Reptiles?
So what's next is this goddamn documentary to fucking finish it already. Um, yeah, so I gotta go back and record some more. As of right now, I think it's like 12 retakes on video, six Puerto Rican boas, spherodactylus geckos, a few things like that. Come up with the story, and then I want to work more with brands. But because of who I am, I'm kind of staying away from reptile brands.
Yeah.
I want to, because I think reptile brands might want to control a little too much.
Right.
You know, I want brands that want to let me fly. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, some brands would be like, hey, I don't like the way you talk about the pet trade. And I'm like, well, that's my fucking opinion. I don't want to shut up. You know,
Right.
I want to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
able to say what I
100%.
want.
Yeah.
So I've been reaching out to brands outside of it so that I can be free. It's like I think I said this on the last one. I'm having flashbacks. I like to be immortal. It's what I like to be. That's what I call it. It's like right
Yeah.
now, like I do what I want, and you can't just say, "Hey, don't buy anything from MadBio Reptiles." Well, guess what? I don't sell shit. Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
can you do?
Yeah.
Like, some people do that. It's like, "Oh, don't buy from that person," or "Don't do this with that person." So you can't do that to me.
Yeah.
Immortal. So I want to do the same thing with brands to the point where it's like I get to do what I want and say what I want and be free and speak my mind, whether it's right or wrong. If it's wrong, I'll call it out later. But if in the moment I want to say something, I just say it, and nobody can say, "Hey, don't do that." You know?
Yeah. You're not being controlled.
Yeah, I want to be free. I want to do this thing and still be free.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then in terms of the documentary, once you finish it, do you see yourself maybe making another one down the line?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The next one is already thought of.
Already.
Like, yeah, depending how the first one does, I have two different options that I can take. But the first one, uh, on purpose, I included a bunch of influencers in Puerto Rico that work with animals.
Cool.
Like, I got the main guy, Gongo Fishing, which is the main guy that is known to catch the retics. He's only been doing it a year, but he's the main guy everyone on the island knows.
Right.
There's a group called Project Retic. I'm doing stuff with them as well. So I'm making sure like the story starts with me in Florida working crocodilians, end up in Puerto Rico looking for retics, and then I blend my story to theirs.
Cool.
Like from me, it goes to Gongo, Project Retech, and then I'm probably gonna look for someone that actually is a breeder or a keeper of reptiles, and have their opinion, and then bring it back to like the effects and possibilities and solutions and what the island itself is saying about the issues, like all of those things. I want to bring that full circle.
Yeah, fascinating, man. I can't wait for you to finish it so we can see it.
Yes, sir. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen all the shots, honestly. I can't wait. We're actually working on a trailer already because we
Oh,
have
sick.
all the ending stuff and all the big shots. We're working on a trailer. I'm supposed to get either today or tomorrow.
If yeah, please send it to me. I would love to see it. Yeah,
I will.
yeah,
I will.
that's sick. Yeah, yeah, man. I wish you nothing but the best. I really think that this is an awesome opportunity and something that's more needed. I think we need people like you to be going out there and creating. We need less big companies doing it and more
Yeah.
creators doing it. So
Yeah. It's about
yeah,
time.
100%, 100%. And I'm sure you haven't gone through all the footage yet. I'm sure you guys took tons and tons of shots,
Yeah.
which is it's gonna be endless, but it'll be worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Awesome, Chucky, man. Where can everybody find you?
Well, I'm MadBio Reptiles everywhere. MadBio Reptiles on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook is Daniel Perez. I'm pretty sure is my actual name. And then the podcast, I'm not the podcast, the documentary. I don't have anything yet for it. And then of course the podcast, Reptiles with podcast with Yoshi and Eric.
Sweet. All those links in the description. Chucky, thank you very, very much for coming on, man. This was awesome. We're gonna have to wait, or we're gonna not have to. Why can't I speak anymore? We're gonna have to not wait 4 years to do this again.
Yeah.
because-
We gotta do it.
We gotta do
We
it
gotta
again
do
more
it.
frequently with him.
Right before the documentary, we'll do it.
Done. Okay, that sounds awesome. Yeah, come on here,
All right.
promote the documentary, and then maybe we'll come
Cool.
back on after the documentary. We could talk about it
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
There we go. Sweet. Thank you very much, everyone. Go give Chucky a follow. MadBio Reptiles. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you on the next one.